Joined by Ethan Strauss, who was kind enough to take off the glasses. I was going to ask you about copyright infringement because when you were rocking the lenses and the headphones, I'm like, all right, there you go. Except you have hair, so that's
yes.
We've already got the logo copyrighted. Article on The Athletic that I want to ask you about the Warriors, and this is a team who for the past however many years has been in the mix for titles. And when this season shut down, I mean, Steve Kerr, when I talked to him, he's pretty frank. Like, mentally, they were done, and they were fine if they didn't have to come back. How do they benefit, Ethan, from not having to go back and kind of recalibrate in a way very few teams that hit the reset button do?
Well, maybe it has something to do with how players improve. We think that they might improve through chemistry and those pickup games down in Los Angeles. That's how we like to think about it. But in the specialized sports world we have today and what we've seen with European soccer academies, it's really about the individualized skill. It's really about getting in the gym. One thing to worry about, though, if we're talking about the Warriors, is this financial calamity that we're seeing currently. You think about a team like Golden State, a team that has $130 million committed to their top 5 guys, their starting unit. It's quite the pinch. It is quite the pinch to suddenly not get any of that gate revenue in that snazzy arena down there. So that is one thing that is not going to benefit the Warriors and probably some other teams that are dependent on gate revenue.
But I'm just looking at the big picture of teams that are terrible, and then they're going to be in the lottery. Like, they don't have the benefit. I get that they've got sunk costs here, and no one's going to cry for them. But at least you're spending money on people you know are good and have shown you what they are. As they look collectively at the future, you said hit the ground running. Is there a sense that if they get the right guy, that they could be sort of back in the mix next year, presuming next year happens?
Here's how I think about it, Scott. I think it's almost like they do not have enough right now. The Warriors, as presently constituted, I know that's I won't say it too loud. Some of my neighbors in Oakland might hear me. I don't think they have enough right now, but maybe like in poker, you hit a card on the river. The Warriors need to hit a card on the river, whether that's their draft pick upcoming. They're going to get a top 5 pick in the upcoming NBA draft, should it ever happen. They have a draft pick from the Minnesota Timberwolves, regularly terrible team, in the next draft, which should be a great draft. They need to get lucky on that or swing a trade for the perfect veteran. If they do that, they get back in the mix. But as presently constituted, I don't think they have enough.
I mentioned on the way in, there was an article on The Athletic I read on the way out, Victory Machine, the book that you wrote. As you think back at what you got to cover and who that group was, what do you find most interesting about the Victory Machine, about that group?
Well, first of all, Victory Machine, it's a quarantine dream, folks. Order it today on Amazon. Leave me a review. Let me get that plug in there really quickly.
Of course.
I think what I learned is that a lot of the ambition that allows you to have success is indivisible from what fractures that particular success. And with NBA teams, Scott, it seems like they end too early. That's what fascinates us about them. We don't talk about Shaq and Kobe playing so well together. We talk about the human drama and how the ego that fuels them winning those championships ends up undermining it. Same thing with the Warriors. All of that ambition, all of that wanting to crush everybody eventually makes it a little bit unstable in the way we never saw with that San Antonio Spurs team. So ultimate dominance eventually leads to fracture. But, man, it's a hell of a ride on the way to that.
Yeah, it makes you understand why The Last Dance was The Last Dance, whether it made any sense to us then or even now looking back. Ethan, thanks, man. You're really good at what you do. Continue to enjoy all the stuff I read that you write. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me, Scott.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.